Under spreading chestnut tree, the village smithy stands. The smith mighty than man is famous, strong and sinewy. And...
Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, it is time for my first personal build video of Iceborne. My, stun longsword build. And this is one that I thought about as sort of a joke idea, just sort of trying to stick together set bonuses and not really expecting much to happen, but lo and behold, I have created the Frankenstein's monster of longsword sets. So first up, let's talk about the build itself, the weapon and armor pieces, as well as the decorations and the skills that make it all work, followed by the playstyle that you want to aim for maximum stunnage. So without further ado, everyone, meet the build that I call Slug Punishment.
Why are you the way that you are?
The purpose of this build, if you choose to accept it, is to take advantage of the brand new special sheath attacks Longsword has gained in Iceborne, both the EI slash and the EI counter, as the sheath stance that you enter counts as much as a sheath as any other method of sheathing, meaning that the follow-up attacks are always draw attacks. The simple way to take advantage of this is just go pure damage, grab critical draw, quick sheath, critical boost, and start slapping at the face. However, where's the fun in that? Today I'm going to show you how to stun with a longsword, and not just stun every once in a while, but stun consistently, effectively, and with a build that does extremely capable damage on top of all of that.
Impressive.
Starting off then with the weapon itself, this set works particularly well with the Gold Rathian Longsword, as it boasts some of the highest attack in the game on these weapons, enough sharpness that handicraft is optional, and some fantastic poison damage, and poison in Master Rank is actually pretty damn effective. Just watch how much the monsters are ticking for throughout these hunts. The poison damage may seem like just a cherry on top, but trust me, the damage is a major part of what makes this build work as well as it does. On top of that, the sword also has 10% positive affinity, which means that your non-draw attacks have a chance to crit as well, which is just a nice little bonus. Augment slots on the weapon for general use will be used for health regen augment as well as the element slash status up to fill up the slots nicely. So what exactly is it that makes this build work in the first place? Well, the main contributors are also the cause of the build's name. The Barioth 2 set Punishing Draw and the Diablos 3 set Slugger Secret, therefore, Slug Punishment.
Mother of God.
Punishing Draw increases your draw attack damage as well as adding stun damage to your draw attacks, and Slugger's Secret simply allows more ranks of Slugger, which at full 5 levels increases your stun damage by 60%. Put simply, your anime attacks somehow become 10 times more anime than they already were. I mean, look at this!
お前はもう死んでいる。何？
And this isn't even a rare occurrence either, whether it be a stun, a mid-air flinch, or a trip. This attack in this build is powered up so significantly that you'll frequently find yourself making monsters look like absolute fools.
I don't want to talk to you no more, you empty-headed animal food trough whopper!
So the skills across the entire build are as follows. 5 Slugger for the obvious purpose of increasing the stun damage of our now stunning draw attack, 4 Poison attack to boost our poison damage, which all comes from the fully upgraded Venom Charm, 3 Critical boost to make all of our crits deal way more damage, especially as our main attack will have 100% crit thanks to our 3 Critical Draw, which affects just every kind of draw attack, 3 Quick Sheath to make your special sheath stance and act just that touch faster, and the set bonuses of Slugger's Secret from Diablos 3 set and Punishing Draw from Barioth 2 set, which is sort of bonus skills in 2 health boost, 1 recovery up, 1 power prolonger, 1 marathon runner, 1 constitution, and 1 tool specialist. These skills are all just either byproducts of the less than ideal Barioth armor skills or my less than ideal jewel collection. For example, every single one of those 4 slot jewels could have been slightly more efficient. The 2 KO jewels could have been KO slash vitality, and the 2 crit boosts could have been crit boost slash maintenance, would have freed up 2 slots and given us the full tool specialist for higher mantle uptime. But what you see in front of you is all of the important pieces to make this build what it is. Every new jewel would only be an incremental upgrade, at most allowing a few ranks of attack boosts to sneak in, and you may be saying, why isn't there any attack boost in here already? I mean, Cotton, why do you have health boost in there and no attack? Because attack boost isn't that great in Master Rank, to be honest, and health boost is just such a nice skill, and you sort of need it once you get to the Tempered Elder Dragons. They're pretty ridiculous.
And now for something completely different.
It is important to realize that what I'm showing you guys is a crazy out-of-the-box build, and as such I have chosen certain skills that boost your ability to stun, but aren't necessarily the best technical choice. The main example of this is Quick Sheath. While it does work with Longsword's special sheath, the actual effect is absolutely minuscule and very questionable use of a skill. However, throughout a hunt, that means a few more draw attacks and therefore potentially another full stun. If, however, you are a little less interested in the crazy stun damage gimmick of this build and just want a sort of halfway version, this Barioth 2-set version of the build does even better damage than the main build, just with fewer stuns. Like, many fewer stuns. Still a lot of stun damage, and you'll still see them pop up once in a while, but it is more of a byproduct of the build than the focus of the build. As such, this build is more technically effective, but it isn't the best longsword stun build. What I'm really trying to show you here is the best longsword stun build.
Good for you. Good for you.
So on to mantles then. Impact Mantle is a no-brainer. We want as many stuns as possible, and Impact Mantle just makes for hilarious stun effectiveness. Second mantle then is the solid go-to of Rocksteady, as long as you are fighting a monster that you are comfortable against. There are tons of monsters that Rocksteady is honestly just a death sentence against, so use your own judgment, and when Rocksteady is out, Evasion Mantle should be in. Damage boost for dodging and increased iframes within which to do it is just a totally solid mantle option. As far as the playstyle goes, it is super close to just normal longsword playstyle now, except you completely ignore the existence of Helmbreaker as an attack just at all, and you get to be a bit more liberal with your use of the EI/attack. Always ensure that your target has the EI spirit/debuff applied, so you are constantly gaining your spirit. Your main way of leveling your spirit gauge is by foresight/counters. However, if you gain enough spirit from your EI buff and an opening presents itself, do not be afraid to manually combo your gauge up. However, your only real use for basic triangle and circle attacks now is timing your foresight/. Your main goal is to reach red gauge and engage in a never-ending sequence of counters. However, due to the way that the EI counter works, you are perfectly capable of using it at a yellow bar of spirit, a white bar of spirit, or even no bar of spirit at all. As long as your timing is correct, you won't lose anything, so be aware that you have this option. Once you have reached red gauge, your gameplay totally shifts. Every moment will be spent staring down your target, sheathing or parrying. Enter your special sheath stance as much as you physically can. If the monster is not going to attack you, then use your slash follow-up for a guaranteed crit and stun damage if you hit the head. Otherwise, simply use your counter at the correct timing and you'll bypass the damage of the incoming attack while also dealing a hefty amount of damage and stun damage yourself.
That's terrific. That's terrific.
Now, the main footage that you'll have seen here is me against some Rathians, and the reason for that is relatively simple. I have fought 1,000 Rathians, and the EI counter requires extremely precise timing to actually function. This build works against every single monster in the game. You just need to practice and master your timings. From the special sheath attacks, you can also immediately foresight/, which provides a super safe link to your safer parry, and you can immediately enter your special sheath stance after a successful foresight/, which of course resets your dwindling spirit gauge back to a full red bar as well. So they do really perfectly complement each other as a play style, and in a way that allows you to have constant access to some sort of counterattack while you're in red gauge, while also refueling and maintaining your red gauge at the same time. Meaning as long as your timing is on point, as long as your timing is perfect, there is no reason that you ever need to take damage after you reach red gauge. And when it all lines up, it makes for some absolutely gorgeous gameplay that just makes you feel like some sort of god.
You see magic. Got it.
So there it all is, ladies and gentlemen, the slug punishment stunning longsword build, as well as the light punishment build for when you only want to stun things occasionally. One thing that I do have to say about Iceborne is just how much has fundamentally changed about some of the weapons, but in a very approachable way. The gameplay of longswords has expanded massively without forcing you to change too much either. Regular longsword builds are fantastic and fun, and it still plays relatively close to how base world longsword plays. However, we can now also create something totally different like this set that could never have possibly worked in a million years for a longsword before, and that is something that I absolutely love. Just the customizability and the fact that a build like this is actually really effective, it just makes me so happy to see. So, thank you Capcom. I've been Cotton Dinosaur, and this has been Slug Punishment. What kind of crazy builds have you messed with so far in Iceborne? What unusual skills or set bonuses would you like to see us mess with next? Like if you liked the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet. This is the brand new outro to tell you all the things that you do that we love, so let's start with something simple and say, oh, we love your eyes. When they're watching us play video games, when we make a bunch of jokes that are kinda lame, or when they gaze upon our failures as we try to kill the monsters or important news about the Kingdom Animalia. Rage, Continent, Hollow, we're all here, talking about the things you want to hear. So if you want to be the first to hear, like and subscribe and the bell and we'll cheer. Some of you are patrons, even though we are all the noobs and you're the pros. There's nothing we can do to thank you. No, really, there's nothing we could possibly do. Goodbye.